In part 3 of our coverage of the 20th Annual St. Louis Pagan Picnic, we talk with Charlynn, the programming coordinator for the picnic, and also with author Joyce Higginbotham.
I'm Charlynn. I'm the programming coordinator for St. Louis Pagan Picnic.
And this is the 20th Annual Picnic.
It is the 20th Annual Picnic. We've been around for 20 years now, so.
How does that make you feel?
I think it's a great milestone. It's obvious that we've been doing something right, and it's great that the community has been able to band together and keep this thing going for as long as we have. We've had a couple of rough spots over the years, but we've always managed to get everybody to come together and support each other and make sure that we still have a place to get together and have community. So,
how many people would you say have been here this weekend?
Oh, yesterday I must have seen probably 2,000 people. And today I'm hoping for another 2,000, so.
And how do you maintain your sanity with 2,000 people?
You know, sometimes it's hard, but everybody is really easygoing, and you know, we just kind of take it in stride and try to just remember that we're all people, and we all have our issues and our down days, but that doesn't mean that somebody can't help pick us back up once in a while. And so we all lend each other a hand, and if we're having a rough spot during the day, we just talk with each other and get it done. So,
you know, I'd have to say I don't think I've ever actually seen any really bad behavior from anyone at a picnic.
We're very lucky and very blessed here that we have a great community of people. We have a great diversity of people that come out. The community here in St. Louis in general, the Tower Grove area, people come out, they know us, and they just come out and have a good time with us, and they ask questions, and we're happy to oblige them with answers. And yesterday we had a Christian gentleman come through with a cross, and everybody was giving him water and making sure he was okay during the event. And as long as everybody's respectful to each other, it ends up being a great day. So we're very blessed.
Yes, indeed. So how long have you been involved in the picnic?
I have been involved with the picnic for 10 years now. So I just realized that the other day. I'm like, this is my 10th picnic. I'm like, okay. So, but I've been the programming coordinator for about 10 years now. So.
And what has changed in those 10 years?
In those 10 years, we have gone from a smaller festival to much larger. We've increased our workshop offerings. When I first started out, I probably only had 10 workshops, and now we have at least 40 workshops, and I think we've had 5 or 6 rituals scheduled, and our Bardic Circle is full all day, both days, and going until 7 o'clock at night. And so we've seen that expand, and we've had videographers out here now, and we've had photographers come out, and we've had, you know, corporate people come through. We had the Snapple people and the 5 Hour Energy people out here today, and so they've heard about us, and it's great. We're just enthusiastic.
Well, it's one of the most successful festivals in the country.
And the great thing about it is for our festival goers, it's free. You come out and you hang out with us. You don't have to pay anything for the workshops or the music or anything. Our vendors are great, and we just ask that you hit them up for anything that you need.
There are wonderful vendors this year too.
We have a great variety of vendors this year. I'm like really surprised about how many different things we have. We've got drums, and we've got glassware, and we've got wind chimes and clothing, and it's just, we have a very good diversity of offerings this year, so I'm very happy about all of that.
So in the 10 years you've been doing this, what has been the biggest challenge the picnic has faced?
The biggest challenge I think Picnic has faced is changing ownership hands. Yarrow used to do it exclusively, and they were the sponsor, and then Cast was involved for a while, and they ran the picnic, and then it went back to Yarrow, and now it's with a group of people, a board of directors that oversee a couple of different events in the community, and they're overseeing the picnic now. And there were a couple of times where things were a little tight, money-wise, but we did fundraisers, and we put it out there to our community that if they needed us to still keep going, that we needed their help, and they've always stepped up. So we're very fortunate that our community is very giving. So I think those were the biggest obstacles to overcome, but we've definitely managed those, and I see a very bright future for the next 20 years, hopefully. So.
Very cool. Now, for you personally, as a pagan, what's been your greatest challenge?
My greatest challenge is I tend to be very hands-on. I tend to be very organized, sometimes a little anal in those things. So my challenge over the last 10 years has been able to try to let go a little bit and to enjoy myself a little more and not take on too much. So finding the balance between doing what needs to be done and everything, that's been a little bit of a hard thing for me, but I think I've finally gotten to a really good place with that. So.
And you've recently had a blessed event.
I did. I had a baby this year, and he's 2 months old right now.
That must have been something to juggle with this event.
It was a little bit to juggle. Luckily, most of my stuff is pre-event, so I can get everything organized and then just be here on site during, and manage any problems that may arise, but I usually don't have any problems, so. But getting everything together and getting the schedule all organized and working everything out with everyone, that's usually my biggest thing. But I was very lucky that I had something fairly low-key while I was pregnant, so. And
Wonderful.
He's here now, so yay.
Yay! So if people would like to learn more about the picnic, or if they'd like to learn more about you and things that you do, where would they go?
We have a website for Picnic. It's www.paganpicnic.org. And you can get to all of the workshop offerings. We have past program books up there, so you can see what we've had in the past, so you can anticipate what we're going to have in the future. If you need to get a hold of me, or if you have any ideas about what you'd like to see at Picnic, or you want to present or anything, you can contact me directly. I have an email address. It's Kirin_moon@yahoo.com. So it's KIRIN_moon@yahoo.com.
Very cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And good luck on another 20 years.
Thank you so much.
My name's Joyce Higginbotham, and we're standing here at the Pagan Picnic in St. Louis, Missouri in 2012.
And how long have you been coming to the picnic?
I've come, this is the 20th year for the picnic, and I've been to every single one of them from the beginning, except for 1 year when there was an emergency in the family and we couldn't make it.
I believe the first year was like 40 people.
Yes, there were 2 of them in the first year. One was about 40 people, one was about 60 people, and they both arose kind of organically, all on their own. 2 different groups sponsored them, and one was here in the park, one was in someone's backyard, and we had a great time at both. And River Higginbotham, my husband, and I attended both of them that first year.
And how have you felt watching the picnic develop into what it is?
I'll tell you, it's been really astonishing for all of us involved in the growth and development of it through the years. By the second or the third one, we had 300 people just appear, and it overwhelmed us. It was a real watershed event for the whole pagan community, who finally realized, I think, that there were a lot more of us out there than we knew. And so at that point, the picnic really began to gear up to handle larger numbers of people.
Now, you have been involved in a number of books.
Yes. My husband and I have 3 books currently in print, all of them with Llewellyn Publications.
And how did you find the experience of writing?
I love the writing part of it. That's what I really enjoy. I like the conceptual part, when you decide what it is you want to say. I don't think a person should write a book unless they have something to say, something they really want to say, and that they feel that they need to be the ones to say it. And so I really enjoy that creative part, and creating something out of nothing, putting the words down onto paper, getting the voice of what I want to say harmonious throughout. And that's kind of more difficult when you have a co-author. My husband and I working together, and we would have very different styles personally, and had to kind of mush them together to get a uniform product.
What is the next thing you're planning to do?
Well, I do have a 4th book already completed. It's called The Interfaith Book of Hours, and it's like a book of hours, or a divine office, like is often chanted by certain monks or nuns in a monastery, in which they would sing or recite the Psalms. I have taken that idea and that structure and made it interfaith. I had very various background with religious groups growing up. I was raised a Mormon, and then I associated with Catholics and became a Catholic and lived in a convent for a year. And during that time, I really acquired a love for their Office of the Hours, which is where they chant psalms and then do a reading and then have some prayers. When you think of monks chanting, and you can even buy a recording of monks chanting, sometimes it is this sort of service that they're doing that you're hearing. Other times it's parts of the Mass. But at any rate, I had a real love for that. I love chanting it, I like the words, and just the sense of peace and the kind of meditation experience. But there was one thing that I missed, and that was to have an overview of wisdom from all traditions. Why was I limited to only the Psalms? Why only limited to readings from the Bible? Well, it's because it's a Christian form of prayer, for one thing. And I decided I wanted more than that. I wanted to be able to read some from Emerson or Thoreau or a Muslim or a Sikh, and kind of combine that into my spirituality. Well, it took me so long to go get a book off the shelf and find something to read, that my time was done before I got anywhere. And so over the course of 20 years now, I've been collecting what I think are inspiring passages from all writers, Buddhist, Hindu, ancient writings, modern writings, and I really am looking for ones that are not dogmatic, don't really explain the beliefs of that tradition so much as I guess more mystical, universal in their message, universal in their tone. And when I find those, then I add them to my collection. And so I've put it together in a book of morning and evening meditations. I often present it at pagan festivals where it's pretty popular, and I call it Pagan Gregorian Chant. But I've also done it at other groups too, more interfaith-oriented groups, and we might just call it a morning meditation or something like that. And I really hope to get it published because I think it will provide a means for people to really be exposed to the wisdom of all faiths across all centuries, and somewhere you will find something in that speaks to you in that moment. So that's my hope, and that's going to get published one of these days soon, and then we can all kind of have a feast of the banquet of the world's faiths.
Wonderful, thank you. Now, if people wanted to learn more about that, is there anywhere they can go?
Well, at this point, it's still in the development process, and there might be something on our website about that in the future.
Very
We're
cool.
doing some redesign of the website now, and you know, it's kind of a hard book to find a place for with a publisher because it's not strictly pagan and it's not strictly Christian. So we'll find some place for it to fit, I'm sure.
Excellent. I hope you enjoyed that, and that you'll join us for part 4 of our coverage of the 20th Annual St. Louis Pagan Picnic, when we'll be speaking with Larry L.B. Brown, with Mary Ann Kay, and with Micah Edge.